So the show is set in New Orleans, but it's filmed here in Atlanta. How's that working so far?
We're shooting a lot in Conyers, which seems to double for New Orleans pretty well, and we've got some beautiful plantation houses, as you can see, out in Madison. So we're figuring it out, and Atlanta's such a great city to live in.
What is one thing that fans can expect from the originals, and what are you most looking forward to in this first season?
I think the fans are going to really appreciate that it's the same story, the same characters we know and love. It's just a little darker. We get to develop more their histories, their relationships, and it's fun, you know, they're relishing in being vampires as opposed to living with being vampires. So I think fans are really going to love it. And the fact that it's set in New Orleans makes it a lot more rich and magical, mystical. It's going to be great.
How does your character finally come to the conclusion to follow her brothers to New Orleans? Do you think her primary motivation is to see Klaus go down, or is her loyalty to her family really that important to her?
I think her primary motivation is her loyalty to family. She has had tension with Klaus and feels betrayed by him, but at the end of the day she's always stayed true to the oath that she made, which is always from forever. And she loves and respects Elijah, and so when he asks something of her, it's hard for her to say no. So I think she really, despite the tension that's been growing and brewing with the family, she loves them and she wants it to work out for them.
So do you find that more so than in the Vampire Diaries, the originals will be more about family?
Absolutely. That's the underlying theme, family. You know, and of course there are sub-themes of love and war, but family is really at the crux of this whole show, and I think that's really compelling to watch.
Speaking of love, with Matt safe in Mystic Falls,
yes.
Will we see any romantic interest for your characters this season?
I imagine so. There's definitely romantic history with certain characters on the show, and so we'll get to see that develop. But I don't think we'll have any Matt in Mystic Falls anytime soon. In New Orleans anytime soon. He's pretty settled in Mystic Falls, I think.
Oh. How does your personality fit the role of your character? Are you guys similar at all?
I've become more like my character the longer I've played her. I think I'm a little more stubborn, maybe a little tougher since I've been Rebecca, which I can't imagine is really a bad thing. But I would hope that I'm not quite as snarky, and I don't go on killing sprees often, so we're not similar in that sense.
Has preparing for the originals been different from when you prepared for your role in the Vampire Diaries?
It hasn't been too different. I'm really familiar with my character now, and I think it's just been developing relationships with the new cast members and getting used to really being used more in the show, which is lovely. I think there was only so much room for the originals in the Vampire Diaries, and now that we have a show dedicated to them, there's more time that we can spend exploring the characters. So it's been great, and the new set is running so smoothly, and I'm really excited for what we're able to produce.
The show, The Vampire Diaries, and with that, the originals, has such a strong fan base. Can you tell us of any cool interactions you've had with fans, or any kind of out there interactions?
The fans are so supportive, which is wonderful, and it really amazes me when they turn up and sit outside until 4 in the morning to watch us shoot. You know, they sit there all day and all night long, and they're just so happy to be there and watch us make these shows. So they're so dedicated, and it's been wonderful. And you know, now with social media, it's a lot easier to connect with them and show them that we appreciate them. So there's been some certain tattoos of, you know, I saw someone tweeted at me that they had always and forever tattooed on their arm recently, which is mind-blowing to me, but, you know, I love that they love the show.
This fall, the blood will flow. You might try to dial down your glee. Thursday, October 3rd, the night that raised the stakes is back.
Make yourself right at home.
The season premiere of The Vampire Diaries, followed by the delicious new series, The Originals.
Quite an operation.
Don't miss a single bite.
That would be tragic.
The season premiere of The Vampire Diaries, followed by a special premiere event of The Originals, Thursday, October 3rd on the CW.